In football, transfers are a gamble. Some clubs take the slow approach, spend a little, develop a player, and hope they turn into the next superstar. Others, they go all in, convinced that one signing can change their fate overnight. Sometimes, that gamble pays off. Other times, it crashes and burns spectacularly. At the end of the 20th century, Real Madrid, one of the richest, most powerful clubs in the world, made that exact mistake. They spent big on a player who had dominated in Turkey, a man seen as the next Rivaldo. His name, Elvir Baljić. And as the century closed, he became its final and most expensive flop. Welcome to Overtime Sessions. Alright, let's start at the beginning, because to understand the hype around Baljic, you have to know the grind that got him there. So picture this. It's 1992. Sarajevo is under siege in the Bosnian War. Elvir Baljić, just 18, is a promising kid at FK Sarajevo, the same club that produced stars like Dembaba later on. He already made 11 appearances and scored 8 goals for the senior team, but the war forces him to flee. Imagine packing up your life, leaving everything behind, all while dreaming of football as your escape. By 1995, at age 21, Baljic lands in Turkey with Bursaspor, a mid-table Super League side in Bursa. Not exactly the glamour of Istanbul, but a fresh start. And man, does he deliver. Over 3 seasons, from 1995 to 1998, he racks up 87 appearances and 42 goals. That's a goal every 2 games. Consistent. Clinical stuff from a left-footed forward who could dribble past defenders like they were cones. In 1996-97 alone, he scores 21 goals in 31 league games, finishing among the top scorers in Turkey. We're talking a guy who's 6'1", physical in the air, but silky with the ball at his feet, versatile enough to play up top or on the wing. Bursaspor fans adored him. He was their star, the refugee kid who became a hero. And get this, in 1996, Turkey grants him citizenship as a thank you for his commitment. But Baljic stays local to Bosnia, debuting internationally for them in 96 and scoring his first goal in 1998. And by 1998, word spreads. Fenerbahçe, the yellow and navy giants of Istanbul, come calling with a massive 9.3 million euros fee, a record for Turkish football back then. Baljic joins in the summer of 1998, and it's like he was born for it. In his one full season, 98-99, he bangs in 18 league goals in 30 appearances, second only to Hakan Şükür's 19. Add 3 more in cups in Europe, totaling 21 goals in 38 games. Fenerbahçe finishes 3rd, but Baljic, he's the star. He wins Turkish Footballer of the Year, and suddenly, Europe's elite are watching. In total, 4 years in Turkey, 125 appearances, 63 goals. From war survivor to Super League sensation, you can see why clubs started circling. Baljic wasn't just scoring, he was dominating. But why Real Madrid? That takes us to the chaos brewing in Spain. So let's go to Real Madrid in 1998-99. If ever a club needed a savior, it was Los Blancos that year. They entered as defending Champions League winners, their 7th European Cup, ending a 32-year drought under Jupp Heynckes. But instead of building on that, total meltdown. Heynckes gets sacked right after the triumph. Controversial move. They hire Jose Antonio Camacho, a club legend, but he quits before a ball's kicked, citing personal reasons. Enter Guus Hiddink, the Dutch tactician fresh off PSV success. Sounds promising, right? Wrong. By February 1999, Madrid's 6th in La Liga, 7 points off leaders Barcelona, with the league's worst defense, 36 goals conceded, tied with Mino's Salamanca. Fans are rioting. The Bernabeu's a pressure cooker. Hiddink gets the boot on February 24th, and in comes John Toshack, Welsh firebrand former Madrid coach in the 80s, who's just left Sporting Lisbon. Toshack stabilizes things. Madrid climbs to second place, 68 points from 38 games, 21 wins, but still 11 behind Barca. They qualify for next season's UCL, but domestically, disaster. In Europe, as holders, they crashed out in the Champions League quarters to Dynamo Kyiv, 1-1 at home, then a humiliating 2-0 away, with Andrei Shevchenko scoring twice. In the Copa del Rey, semifinals against Valencia, 6-0 away. Redondo sent off early, total collapse. Then a meaningless 2-1 home win, aggregate 2-7. Valencia humiliates the kings of Europe. President Lorenzo Sanz is under fire, fresh off European glory, now facing fan revolt and board whispers. The squad's stacked, Raul with 25 goals, Morientes 19, Roberto Carlos bombing forward, but cohesion, non-existent. Toshack needs a statement signing, a goal machine to fix the attack. Enter Elvir Baljić. So how does a Bosnian from Bursa end up at the world's biggest club? It all comes down to one man, John Toshack. See, before landing at Madrid in 99, Toshack coached Beşiktaş in Istanbul from 97 to 98. That's prime time to scout the Turkish league, and he couldn't miss Baljic. At Fenerbahçe, Baljic was tearing up derbies against Beşiktaş. Toshack saw it firsthand, the left foot like a wand, dribbling past multiple defenders, finishing coolly. This guy's got it, Toshack thought. When he joined Madrid in February 99 to steady the ship, he lobbies hard, signed Baljic. He's the new Rivaldo. Technical, versatile, a goal threat from anywhere. Why him specifically? Madrid's attack needed firepower. Raul was magic, but they wanted depth. A left-footed creator who could play forward, winger, or number 10. Baljic's 18 goals proved he could handle pressure. At 25, he was peak age. Sanz buys in, hyping him as the new Rivaldo. Dribbling flair, free kick threat, that Bosnian grit. It fit the Galacticos blueprint starting to form. Toshack's insider knowledge sealed it. No formal scouts, just pure conviction from watching the kid dominate Turkey. Was Madrid the only suitor? Not even close. Baljic's Fener form had Europe's elite buzzing. Sources said various major clubs were circling. Premier League sides like Arsenal or Manchester United scouting Turkish gems. Serie A giants like AC Milan or Juventus eyeing left-footed talents for their tactical setups. No concrete bids named, but the $26 million fee, that's bidding war inflation for a Balkan player. Fenerbahçe played it smart, holding out for the highest bidder. Madrid's financial muscle and Toshack's push won it. It caused a major surprise in the press, as this was huge money for someone outside the Big Five leagues. The transfer, pure drama. Summer of 1999, Fenerbahçe's on preseason camp in Austria. Baljic rooming with fellow Bosnian Elvir Baljić when Madrid reps show up. Negotiations dragged till 3:30 a.m. Baljic later said, "We waited, not knowing what would happen, then boom, I'm a Real player. 26 million, second most expensive of the 20th century ever Anelka's 34.5 million, that same window. Signed July 1st, 1999, hype was electric. Barnabo debut in a friendly, assist for the winner. This is it, fans thought. But here's where it all crumbles. The aftermath is a nightmare. Preseason, training with the squad, Baljic ruptures both critical ligaments in his left knee, ACL and PCL. Double whammy. Career altering. Surgery, rehab, he misses the whole build-up. Debut season, just 11 La Liga appearances, 1 goal. Total Madrid, 19 appearances, 1 goal across 3 years. Toshack sacked in November 99, Baljic's biggest fan gone. Vicente Del Bosque takes over, marginalizes him. We don't need him. Yet, he squad for 2 UCL triumphs. 2000 final versus Valencia, 0 minutes, watches from the bench as Madrid wins 3-0. And 2002's La Decima, again unused. Irony at its finest. He also did some loans. He went back to Fener in the 2000-2001 season, 27 appearances, 5 goals, but booted for discipline. Then Real Vallecano in 01 and 02, 10 appearances, 1 goal. They sent him back early, blaming his ego for their relegation. A $1.2 million salary, a poison pill, no takers. Madrid writes off the $26 million. Baljic retires in 2008 after stints in Turkey. He tries full singing in 2005. His legacy, top of worst Madrid signings list. Part of the 99's flop wave with Anelka, Sanz loses the presidency in 2000, partially over it. Baljic reflects, if not for the injury, I'd have succeeded. Heartbreaking. Talent wasted by cruel fate. When you look back at Elvir Baljic's story, it's easy to label him a flop. The last big one of the 20th century. Behind that label is a story of war, resilience, and impossible odds. From escaping Sarajevo's conflict to becoming Turkey's best player, Baljic defied the odds again and again. His fall wasn't just about failure. It was about how fragile football dreams can be when luck turns the other way. As one century closed and another began, Real Madrid learned a lesson they wouldn't forget. Even a club built on legends can make mistakes, and Elvir Baljić was the proof. What a roller coaster. Elvir Baljić, from Turkish terror to Madrid mystery, shows how fragile football is. One injury, and legends fade. But what do you think? Biggest transfer flop ever? At least for the 20th century? Drop the comments below. Smash the like button if you learned something, if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more deep dives on overtime sessions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time in overtime.